Hi, welcome to my channel for confidence sake. Sorry, I just spent the last 10 minutes trying to figure out an angle for this camera. But anyways, let's get into it. You've seen the title. It should be something about healing from people's opinions, from friends' opinions, something around that. And to be honest, I was never going to speak about this like in a dedicated video, but I had a dream about it. So I'm honoring what I saw in the dream. I guess I have to talk about my journey with opinions. Opinions have by far been the biggest thing to concrete insecurities in me. I say that because obviously insecurities exist first within, but I feel like through the opinions of others, that's where I'm like, oh, that's not just an insecurity, that's what people actually think about you. And there's one thing having an insecurity that like you don't know if you're good enough, you don't know if you're beautiful enough, and you think that in yourself, but no one's ever told you outside of you. And there's another thing hearing it from somebody else and then being like, oh, so I was right all along. And I very quickly in life realized, you know how your parents are like, well, my parents at least are like, be careful who you're friends with. Like, you know, you might want to be careful who you surround yourself with because you might become like them or whatever the case may be. That's been very, very, very true for me. I also want to apologize for lighting as well. I procrastinated and I was meant to film this video earlier. Anyways, back to that, back to what I was saying. So when I was about 12, I've talked about this on this channel before, which is why the channel is called For Confidence Sake, because I had so many insecurities growing up. It was insane. I don't know what I liked about myself. I could count probably more things that I disliked about myself than liked about myself. And honestly, the last, I guess, 10 years of my life has been me consciously realizing this about myself and saying, no, you know what, this isn't okay. I need to be able to see myself in a better light. So the channel's called For Confidence Sake because of everything for the last like decade, at least 5 years completely dedicated, has been about me growing my confidence. And one of the biggest things was the way I saw myself. So from puberty times, going to high school, what I call it, or secondary school as people call it here, so you're about 11, 12, I started to realize things about myself that I never realized, like, oh my gosh, I've got strawberry legs. Well, have I always had them? Like, or little things like that. And those thoughts became, I don't think I'm beautiful. Considering how my friends would maybe get attention compared to me, I started to feel like I wasn't beautiful. But again, nobody had ever told me this. It was just something that I was internalizing until one fateful day, I was on a bus with a friend and she was like, wow, we're really the ugly ducklings of our group. And I could never forget that because it was in that moment that I realized, like, something said to me, oh, you're right, you are ugly. And I promise you, I kid you not, from that day, I must have been 13, 14 maybe. I would say 13 when I heard that. From that day until 3-ish years ago, I could not call myself beautiful. I didn't see it. I couldn't see it. When I was like 20 something, I started to say, okay, maybe there is some beauty in you, but to say it or to see it, couldn't. It was like that. It was like a seed was planted. And there's been many things that people have said to me or like that just kind of shift your perspective of yourself. Again, often was attacking my appearance or same friend actually. Same friend was like, told me that somebody told them that I walk funny. And again, from the day that she told me that till many years later, I'd be so conscious of the way I walk, especially when I was wearing heels, if we aren't already, but especially when I was wearing heels, I'd be so conscious about the way that I was walking, that to the point that I would actually almost forget to walk. Like, am I walking properly? So overthinking it so much. And I understand that when people say things, often they're not saying it to hurt you. There are people who intentionally try to hurt you. Trust me, believe, I've encountered it. There are people that try to hurt you, but I know that I probably said something flippantly to somebody who said a joke or something that's hurt somebody, and not knowing that it's hurt them, not knowing the effect it's had on them and the way they look at themselves. So I recognize that, which is why I no longer hold malice. I would say that at a point I did kind of look at these things, not like I held malice, but I was like, how dare you hurt me like that? Like, how dare you step on me like that? Like, did you not know? Almost as like, why would you say that to anyone? You know, like, I didn't understand that. Why would you intentionally do that? It felt intentional to me, but that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why somebody said what they said. It doesn't matter what they intended when they said it. At the end of the day, the burden of healing is on you. It's on you. If somebody said something about you, that you'll never be anything, that you'll never amount to anything, that you know that you won't go anywhere, or that you're ugly, or that, and you've been holding it for, even if for days, months, weeks, years, it's on you to make the change. It's on you to heal that. And that was hard. That process, I think sometimes, I would like to say, I would like to consider that I'm out of it, but at the same time, how long I held it for is still more than what I've come out of it. So you still have a part of you that wants to go back to those thought processes. Like, I'll have days where, and I think everyone has this, to be totally honest, where I still don't feel good. So why should you heal from others' opinions? Well, besides the fact that you're carrying pain that you can get rid of, is also that I recognize now that I believe in God, right? I'm Christian. So I look at things in the lens of faith. So I recognize now that where people attacked me and hurt me the most was exactly where God was calling me to shine the most. That makes sense? So it was my looks. Another person, I remember, again, you don't forget these things. One of my other friends, again, I was 14 probably. I was probably 14 years old. And I was complimenting her on her figure. She was looking at herself in the mirror and was like, oh my gosh, like, I wish I had more this or that. And I was like, well, you should be grateful for what God's given you. Like, you're already, like, you know, kind of compliment, like, you look good. And her rebuttal to me was that, well, do you hate God then because he gave you no tits? You might be looking at me now and be like, what? What was he back then? I was like, huh? Just like little things, like, what do you mean, do you hate God because he gave you, I was like, huh? And she'd make comments about like, this is BBM days, so throwback. BBM days, I didn't have a lot of contacts. I've known people who are popular, but never really been the popular person. And she would make comments like, you know, I have this many contacts, like, I have more boys on my BBM than you even have contacts. Just little things, like, little things that would make me feel like, what the heck? Why did I bring this up? I guess I brought up to say, like, these things plant something in you. And I was talking about how people attack you where you're meant to shine the most. So now I'm talking to you in front of a camera. I had to imagine if I never healed from people thinking that I was ugly. And I'm telling you that it took me so long. And even in my business, I have to put myself on the camera daily, like weekly at least. Weekly, I have to show up. I wanted to do a faceless business when I first started. I was like, I'm never going to put myself on the camera because the lingering feeling of that was still there. If you do not heal from other people's opinions, you lose out on what God has in store for you. I truly believe that, you may lose out on what God has in store for you because, like I said, pardon the noise if you can hear that background noise, but like I said, it's very particular. These attacks aren't accidental. If you look back at the things that people said that hurt you the most, you probably see a pattern, you'll probably see a theme. Maybe it's in relationships, people telling you that you'll always be single, or I don't know, maybe it's in career, like you're always going to be behind or whatever the case may be. There are things that people have said to you, and I'm telling you today that one of the ways to heal from it is to recognize what has been done, and to recognize that first of all, not everyone sees you the same. Second of all, you are a decider of who sees you, like how people see you. Confidence is attractive. True confidence. A lot of people are confident fake, but true confidence is attractive. If you put yourself out there and you know who you are, it's something that people gravitate towards. And to be honest, people have always seen me as confident, even when I wasn't, probably because of the way that I communicate, but there is power in me now being able to see, no, that's not true. That's not how I want to see myself. and it's definitely not how God sees me. I wasn't created in by accident. No, even if stereotypically, not many people are societally attractive, myself included. The society standard for attractiveness is like a little window, right? I recognize that, but I see beauty in me. I definitely see beauty in me. And I also remember hearing like a quote that like, you exist because somebody thought that one of your ancestors were what they wanted, in a sense. Like you create, like somebody looked at them and like, yeah, that's what I want. And you have their features, you have parts of them. So the same way that there's beauty in you, but even if nobody else found you, whatever that person said to you, even if nobody else saw that in you, you have to see that in you. You have to. And this is a process. Take your time with it. I would really recommend affirmations. I don't use them so much anymore, if I'm going to be honest with yourself. It's with you. Something I want to get back into. You can, if you also are Christian, you can attach biblical principles to it. So if you were like me and you said, okay, I don't really see myself as attractive, then the Bible verse that that you are fearfully and wonderfully made would completely get rid of that. So you can make a declaration that when those thoughts come to your mind, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. There's no way that God makes a mistake. The same God that makes the flowers can't make something that's ugly. The same God that made the moon, I love the moon, the moon's beautiful, also made me with those same hands and put that same beauty in me. And that's a very powerful way to look at it. And then also praying about it. Praying about it in two ways. One just came to my mind, so I'm going to say that one first. Praying that you'll have forgiveness for what that person said to you, for that person's opinion. Honestly, that you won't hold any resentment towards them. Releasing that hurt, really, like praying and releasing that hurt is so crucial, because you can sometimes maybe heal from the opinion, but not the perspective of that person. And maybe they're not meant to be in your life, don't get me wrong. They might not be good for you. I know for a fact there can be somebody who's good for they might be good to all their other friends, but for you, they're not meant to be in your life. Fine, fair, that's okay. But still, letting it go so you can get rid of that burden, in a sense, like casting all your cares and burdens on God, is important. So there's so many other things that not even just friends. I remember a teacher one day was like, because I didn't look at her in her eyes, but I think I never really looked at my elders in their eyes or people in their eyes in general, and she was like, you'll never get anywhere in life if you can't look at people in their eyes. Now, I will hold eye contact with something that made them feel uncomfortable, because when she said to me, I was like, what? Bet? Okay, well, I'm going to stare at you in your eyes now. Little things, but they stick with you. And there's so much more that has been said to me. And I had to like let it go. Honestly, right now, there's so much that I can't remember, because the process of getting rid of it has been quite effective, that it's just like, okay, like it's gone now. But those are the few things that people have said to me, and my journey to healing has been very simple in terms of like on paper, but in process has been different. So, and another thing that I would have to say as well, you recognize where somebody's opinion has hurt you, right? Whatever it is, there's so many things I could never cover it. Somebody said to you something that's a lie. Most likely it's a lie, or it has a lie incorporated into it. It's your job to fight the effects of that. So like I said, if I never got over the opinion that concreted in my head that I was ugly, I wouldn't be talking in front of this camera right now. I never thought I'd be able to do this for a long time. I wanted to for years. I couldn't muster the courage for 7 years because of insecurities and those opinions that I held so deeply in me. Make yourself uncomfortable. It's going to feel uncomfortable. Whether that is somebody said something to you that was to do with dating, right? Maybe try and date, right? In a healthy way, because you have to kind of break the cast of what was said. When I first started doing YouTube videos, when I say I felt like it made me want to itch. Even now, I still procrastinate today, right? I still wanted to put this off. It feels so uncomfortable, and I knew it would, and that's why I said it was for the sake of my confidence, because I knew if I could put myself on this camera, then the uncomfortability will force me to grow. would force me to get rid of those limiting beliefs. And it has done just that. You know, I have to put myself out there now. I do it on YouTube, no matter if how many people watch it. I have to do it in my business, no matter how many people watch it. But it had to be addressed. So whatever that is, break yourself out of the cast of those opinions. Actively, don't just tell yourself that you're beautiful. Don't just tell yourself that you're worthy. Do things that prove that. Does that make sense? I hope that's very clear. Like, that's kind of what I've had to do myself, because I know that uncomfortability makes you grow. Like, it feels horrible, but it's the one thing in life that will help you elevate and grow. This video is kind of, I don't know if it's all over the place. I've been doing like a monthly like diary vlog since April. So I was like, this time I'm going to do this in this format. So it's kind of my vlog. It's kind of just talking about me, like I said, healing from people's opinions, and I guess trying to help others that might be in that hurt place, or if you know someone who's in that hurt place, maybe you can give some of this advice to them. I hope it's clear. I'm not really a writer or a planner when it comes to this. I just have to sit down and talk, because if not, I'm gonna probably put it off or be too in my mind. But if there is anyone that is in that place of pain and hurt and trying to heal, I really pray that God gives you a sense of peace and clarity, and that you will start to see yourself how God sees you, and that you will start to walk in that power of knowing yourself truly. And I know that you'll see the effects of that will be life-changing, just as they've been to me. I'm still on my journey. We're always going to be learning something. That's just life. If we're not learning, we're dead. That's what I think. So I thank you for watching. If you're interested in this channel, like, comment, subscribe. Is there anything that you've healed from? I would love to know. Share your opinions. Maybe the way your process is different to mine, and maybe if you comment, you can help somebody else in the way that I wasn't able to. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you in another video. Take care of yourself.